All right, I'm going to do a sound check this first time because this is a third attempt at this, and first one we had internet connectivity issues, and the second one was sound issues. So, if you can hear me, just type give me some thumbs up, some love, and just say, "Yep, can hear you, all good." Pretty sure you can. I did a mic check and it seemed to be working, but I just wanted to double check. We're talking about 3 principles for a better life and improved mental health today. Let's check the live chat to see if people can hear me. Can hear you now. Awesome. Can hear you now. Awesome. Beautiful. Mandy, hey. So let's go. So what I was saying before was 3 principles that I enjoy. And they're principles because with principles, they're unlike, specific ideas or rules that you must follow. Follow these rules for menopausal weight loss. It's not like the rules are kind of rigid. Principles that can be applied loosely and broadly. And generally they're things that are true, but sometimes they don't apply. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're just silly. And unlike, the rules and stuff, these principles, they sit in the background of your life. And they quietly inform your decisions and your perspectives in a way that it's quite good. Principles can be quite more effective than sort of an action of, do this, do that, eat less, move more if you want to lose weight and stuff like that. These principles have helped steer my life, and they continue to do so. And I hope you find them useful as well. I think that we start with principle 1, which is you are perfect just as you are, but you can always be better. Now, I first heard this however many years ago, reading a self-help book. I think it was a Zen meditation, many moons ago. But it stuck with me because the older I get, the more wisdom I see in it. And it's effectively, you are already good enough as you are, but you can always be better. There is this inherent tension between self-acceptance and self-improvement. And this tension is sort of like, it's within all of us, but it's like one hand is that we want to feel love, we deserve love, we want to be respected, we want to have coffee in bed sometimes brought to us, we want the occasional back rubs. But on the other hand, unless you're comatose, it's abundantly clear that we have sometimes no bloody idea what we're doing in life. We are bumbling through. We mess up all the time. There's many ways that we can be better. We could learn more. We could achieve more. We could do more. We could grow more. And I love this principle because it bluntly acknowledges that this internal tension between self-acceptance and self-improvement is never going to go away. It doesn't matter how productive, how competent, how awesome you become, there's always going to be something that you kind of suck at. And that kind of gnawing inadequacy will never be conquered. And this is perfect for what we believe in. We believe that there's no perfect, right? There is no perfection. It's only progress. And that's what that Kaizen effect is, that 1% better every day. But on the other hand, you are still very worthy. You are a very valuable human being, regardless of how screwed up, how you may have screwed up, how much trauma you've had, and regardless of the mistakes that you've made, regardless of how much room you have not grown in the past 2 years, 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, and regardless of how much room you still have to grow, you are still valuable. You are still worthy of being loved and accepted and treated with respect. Now, I feel that the beauty of this principle, in essence, is that self-acceptance and self-improvement, they need each other to flourish. If you have one without the other, there is dysfunction. If you're all self-acceptance without self-improvement, you become lazy, you become indulgent, you become selfish, you become everything that people don't like. If you are self-improvement with no self-acceptance, you develop neuroses, you become hypercritical, you become this perfectionist mindset, you become an over-anxious mess. There's inside the group, right? Inside our big support group of 47,000, we see this. And we see people, like, let's use Karen. I always use words Karen, Janine, and Janice. I don't know why I use them, but really easy. Come to me. Karen posts, let's say, this is fictional, but the names are different. Karen posts are, I'm 20 kilos overweight. It's about 3 stone, 20 kilos overweight. Feel absolutely terrible. Really unhappy with myself, depressed, etc., etc., etc. Janine pops in at the bottom. Hey, don't worry, Karen. This is menopause, different phase of our life. We're going to put on weight in menopause. Just love yourself the way you are. A part of me loves that, and a part of me hates that, because this person is damn right miserable, and just saying, just love yourself the way you are is just the worst advice ever. You know, this person is depressed. This person is overweight. They're unhealthy in the sense of physical health. And that's not even addressing the mental health. So there's an element of self-acceptance that is really lovely of that. Like, love yourself the way you are. But if we added on top that self-improvement, love yourself the way you are, because you deserve to be loved and respected. But know that you can do better. You can be better. And that's the kind of balance that we're playing with here. You can always be better. You are perfect the way you are, but you can always be better. There's so much room for growth inside of you. And principle 1 has been massive for self-acceptance. But principle number 2, I think, is a bit more for the mental health, especially over the past 2 or 3 years. And it's about, especially with social media, you know, your views on coronavirus and politics and stuff like that. It's been prevalent everywhere on social media, people's opinions, right? And this helps me think that most people aren't evil, right? Most people aren't evil. They're just stupid. And that includes myself. That includes ourselves. I think a lot has been made on social media, how it does impact our mental health. It does. But I believe that the thing that we don't talk about enough on social media is that there's this like mass moralization. And 10, 20 years ago, there needs a little less I am right, you are wrong mentality. Like, the thing that we see on the internet is, and I am guilty of this too, generally a lot of us are clueless and ignorant about almost every topic. There's some areas that we're very clued up on, I understand that, but imagine there's a post designed to piss you off so much as possible. Now, you combine that with how easy it is to just type something behind a computer with your basically with pretty much anonymity, right? No one can see you the other side of the screen. You don't have to be worried about being punched in the face or screamed at or anything like that. So you throw these harsh insults, these judgments at people, saying, how can you believe that coronavirus was fake or whatever? And then you get this, you know, just loads of people being, you know, overly effectively, you know, self-righteous, over moralizing. No, this is the best thing for. Anyway, the pandemic's taught us a lot. I think being locked in our house, it's taught us that everything and everyone is going to at some point be wrong about something very significant. It doesn't matter where your politics are, what your country is, what your personal beliefs are. But I think that at some point in the last 3 years, you and I were wrong about something, and in many cases, we were horribly wrong. So I would assume then that you and I will be horribly wrong about something else in the future. And you think, oh, this is going to, you know, if I hear this, it's going to humble a few people and encourage them to maybe kind of withhold judgment when you see somebody posting something that's quite polarizing or just posting something in general. But I feel it's done the opposite over the past few years, right? And there is this philosophical concept known as Hanlon's razor. And it's basically never attribute to malice what can be adequately explained by stupidity. Now, there is, I think there's value in this. I think that if you add to Hanlon's razor something, Mark Manson, I think, said, called it Manson's addendum. He said that pretty much everything you see or read has a degree of stupidity. We've talked a lot about kind of controlling your own emotions inside the NYM Club and outside. But I think that this is perhaps the most important skill that we need for the next 5 years. especially in a very growing, always online, ever-present world, because we're always online. As the world becomes polarized, angrier, disinformation potentially spreads in. I think the ability to reserve moral judgment and control your emotions, be slow to kind of pull the trigger on a comment, and to kind of actually think and draw conclusions is going to be the next important skill. Because emotional responses are sometimes, probably more often than not, are not well thought out. So I think for your mental health, I think that principles number 2 is going to be massive. I think principle number 3 is helping me in the fitness and weight loss world, because it's a little bit of truth exists in everything, but the whole truth in nothing. Now, there's a guy named Ken Wilber who used to say, no one is smart enough to be wrong about everything. Therefore, if we disagree with somebody horribly, there's always an opportunity to at least understand what may be true or useful in their views. Now, there's a lot of people that believe, astrology or mediums are almost certainly wrong, incorrect, not evidence-based, but it's based on some assumptions that potentially are true. People's personality differ with the astrology. And these differences, if we're just talking about astrology, they're largely predictable, they're largely measurable, and there's a lot of research that's shown that personalities do differ a tiny amount based on what season you're brought into the world. But that is quite different to believing that the hour and the day and the month that you're born are going to affect your whole life. But it is something. So I believe that the ability to seek truth, now I don't disregard astrology altogether and stuff like that, because I think there is some truth in it. But I think that trying to seek the truth always in this sort of disinformation, there's a lot of disinformation out there, especially with weight loss and stuff. I think it's an important skill to develop, and it makes you learn so much faster. I think it's very important to be sympathetic to people who believe different to you. And most importantly, not only is it going to help you connect better with them and understand their side better, but it's going to help you develop the ability to change your mind when you disagree with someone and there's a visceral, physical reaction. You're like, absolutely not. I don't believe a word of what you're saying. But how you respond to that, I think, will help. And I think that it will help you get closer to the truth. I think that the understanding in the pursuit of truth is necessary to keep us learning, keep us sympathizing, and be willing to change our minds and grow and be put into that growth mindset. Because the past 2 or 3 years have been very difficult on us mentally. Physically, yes, we've put on weight, but mentally it's been very challenging. Social creatures that have not been able to socialize, and we've had to socialize on the internet, and we haven't been particularly adept expressing our feelings in text message, in Messenger and stuff like that, and online. But there is, I think the final thing I wanted to talk about, there is, that life is merely this endless pursuit of, being eventually wrong, getting it right. And that's sort of that pursuit of wisdom and truth. If we're talking weight loss, we're talking, what is going to help me lose your 20 kilos and keep it off. So it's pursuing people that it's looking for individuals that are going to help you navigate all this disinformation crap, navigate all these stupid fad diets. Like, why are the fad diets? They're not working, clearly, but why are they there? What purpose are they serving? What do I need to do to eradicate this out of my life and make sure something I can do is sustainable? That's purely weight loss. Well, if we're talking about something else, mental health, we have different avenues for that. But we need to kind of sift through the crap, understand if someone believes in keto or someone believes in Fast 800, understand that yes, you probably are wrong in believing that is the best approach. I'd bet my life on that. But is there elements of truth or in their argument? Oh, the keto's helped me lose weight. Yeah, I'm sure it has. Via calorie deficit, is it something sustainable? Potentially not. Is Fast 800 healthy on the whole? No, but is it? Is there some elements that are positive? Potentially, there is some element of truth, and that's what people cling on to when they do these things. But that's just purely weight loss. There's obviously many different things. But I think that if you hold on to those kind of, especially principle 2 and 3, it will help your mental health drastically. Remember, number 2 is most people aren't evil, they're silly, stupid. And number 3 is a little bit of truth exists in everything. But I'd like to know what your take home is of that, from that. What do you believe? What value have you got from this? Is it number 1 that you're perfect just the way you are? Is it number 2 that people are sometimes silly? People don't agree with you. We are silly. I am silly sometimes. Hold my hand to that. I argued the other day. I was tired. I argued the other day with somebody online who basically believes that a specific way of eating is the best way for fat loss, and it has been proven time and time again this individual is wrong. Empirical evidence shows that he is wrong, but I called him effectively a numpty, and I said this is clearly wrong. It's disinformation. It's doing a disservice to people that really need help. And I said something like, I think I may have called him, may have called him stupid because he's 10 years behind. That was stupid of me, to be honest. But I was wrong, right? And that's that we will be wrong at some point, in the sense that I was wrong to call him stupid. But my idea was right. I was clearly right in what I was saying. I went about it wrong. And we are always going to be making these small mistakes in pursuit of growth, in pursuit of trying to be better, because we're not perfect individuals. We are not perfect individuals. But that was my little thing. I called someone stupid on the internet, and I'm not proud of it. Very, very not proud of it. But I hope you got some value from this. I think principle 1's my favorite, but I'm keen to hear yours anyway. Hope you have a fantastic start to your week. This is generally Mindset Monday, but enjoy